Have you ever wondered why some people seem to stay sharp, strong and full of energy well into their 80s and 90s, while others slow down way earlier? Is it luck? Is it genetics? Or is there something else going on? Here's the shocking part. Scientists say the answer might be sitting right on your plate. That's right. The foods you eat every single day could be adding years to your life, or quietly stealing them away. Now, most people believe living longer is about big medical breakthroughs, fancy supplements, or just having good genes. But here's the truth. Research shows that your genes only control about 20 to 30% of your lifespan. The rest, that's up to you. It's the choices you make, especially when it comes to what you eat. And here's where it gets interesting, because the foods that actually help you live longer are not what most people think. It's not some magic fruit from the Amazon jungle or a supplement that costs $100 a bottle. In fact, you probably walk past these foods at the grocery store every single week without even noticing. The problem is, most of us are still eating like we're in a race to see who can hit the fast-forward button on aging. Burgers, fries, soda. It's basically pressing skip on your own life story. And if that stings a little, good, because it means you're awake to the truth that most people ignore. In this video, I'm going to reveal the foods that science says could help you fight aging, avoid disease, and actually give you more years on this planet. And here's my promise. Some of these will surprise you. Some are way more delicious than you expect. And by the end, you'll not only know what they are, you'll know how to start using them without giving up the foods you love. So here's the deal. If you stick with me until the end of this video, you'll walk away with a clear list of longevity foods and a simple plan you can start using today. No fluff, no hype, just the exact foods that can help you live longer and live better. Most people think how long you live is all about genetics, like, my grandma lived to 95, so I'll probably be fine. Or, heart disease runs in my family, so there's nothing I can do. But that's not true. Science shows your genes only control about 20 to 30% of your lifespan. That means most of it, 70 to 80%, is in your hands. Think about that for a second. The choices you make every single day matter way more than what's written in your DNA. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. Food is the single biggest factor. More than exercise, more than supplements, more than how much water you drink, or what fancy health gadget you buy. Food is what fuels your body, heals it, or slowly breaks it down. Let me give you an example. Around the world, there are these special places called blue zones. These are areas where people live much longer than average. We're talking about whole communities where living into your 90s or even hitting 100 isn't rare. It's normal. Now here's the wild part. It's not because they have better doctors or special genes or access to high-tech medicine. It's because of how they live. And at the top of the list, the food they eat every day. And here's what's even more shocking. Their diets aren't made of expensive, weird superfoods. They're made of simple, everyday foods you and I already know. Beans, grains, veggies, fruits, nuts, and a little fish or olive oil here and there. This proves something really important. You're not stuck with the lifespan your parents or grandparents had. You can take control. You can influence how long and how well you live. So when you hear these foods can extend your life, don't roll your eyes. This isn't hype. This is science. Studies from Harvard, the NIH, and research on blue zones all say the same thing. What you eat every day has the power to add years to your life or take them away. And in a moment, I'm going to share exactly which foods those are. But before we get to the list, I want you to remember this. The food industry will never advertise this to you. They make more money selling you processed junk than they do reminding you that beans and berries could keep you alive longer. So stick with me, because once you know the truth, you can't unknow it. And the truth is, your lifespan is more in your control than you've been led to believe. All right, so now that we know food has this huge power over how long we live, the big question is, which foods actually matter? Because let's be real, if you Google superfoods, you'll find a million lists with everything from kale to dragon fruit to some $40 powder you've never heard of. But most of that is just noise. Scientists have done the hard work, and the truth is a lot simpler. To make it easy, I'm going to break these foods into a few simple categories. Think of them like the all-stars of longevity eating. Category 1. Plant powerhouses. Let's start with the obvious one. Plant. I know that doesn't sound exciting, but hear me out. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and arugula. Cruciferous veggies like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. Legumes like beans, lentils, and chickpeas. And of course, berries. Why these? They're loaded with antioxidants and fiber. Antioxidants are like little bodyguards, fighting off the damage that makes you age faster. Fiber keeps your gut healthy, and scientists are finding that gut health connects to almost everything: your heart, your brain, even your mood. And here's a secret: it doesn't have to be boring. You don't need to choke down a bowl of raw broccoli. Roast it with garlic and olive oil. Blend spinach into a smoothie with fruit. Throw beans into a chili. These foods are powerful because they're flexible. Category 2. Healthy fats. For years, people thought fat was bad. Low-fat everything. Fat-free snacks. Remember that? Yeah. Turns out that was a big mistake. The truth is, your body needs fat. But not the greasy, deep-fried kind. I'm talking about healthy fats: olive oil, nuts, seeds, avocados, and fatty fish like salmon or sardines. These fats are packed with omega-3s, which protect your brain and reduce inflammation in your body. Inflammation is like a slow fire inside you. It makes you age faster and makes diseases easier to show up. Healthy fats cool that fire down. Here's the best part: this category is delicious. Who doesn't love avocado toast, nut butter, or pasta with a little drizzle of olive oil? Category 3. Whole grains and fermented foods. Now, let's clear up another myth: carbs. Everyone's scared of them, but the truth is, not all carbs are equal. Refined carbs, white bread, pastries, sugary cereal, yeah, those aren't great. But whole grains like oats, quinoa, barley, and brown rice, these are packed with nutrients that keep your energy steady and your heart healthy. And then we've got fermented foods: yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso. These feed your gut bacteria, which again play a massive role in how long and how well you live. A happy gut? A longer life. Category 4. Spices, herbs, and drinks. Now here's where it gets fun. Some of the most powerful longevity foods are hiding in your spice rack. Turmeric helps fight inflammation. Garlic supports your heart. Cinnamon helps balance blood sugar. And then there's coffee and green tea, both linked to longer lives in tons of studies. Yes, coffee lovers, you can celebrate. Science is finally on your side. Category 5. The basics. We forget. Last one, water. Not flashy, but absolutely essential. Hydration keeps every system in your body running well, and dehydration makes you age faster than you think. And no, you don't need fancy alkaline water. Just plain water works fine. Now here's the cool part. Notice what's missing. There's no rare fruit from the Himalayas, no $60 superfood powder, no miracle food that promises to make you live forever. Longevity isn't about adding one weird food to your diet. It's about building a plate with the right balance of these categories day after day. That's what the longest living people in the world do. And the best part, these foods are simple, affordable, and they taste good. So now you know the categories. But before we move on, let's bust some of the biggest myths and misconceptions people still believe about longevity eating. Because trust me, there are a lot of them. Alright, now we need to clear something up. Because whenever people hear about longevity foods, a bunch of myths and half-truths start flying around. Let's bust the biggest ones right now. Myth number 1, if I eat these foods, I can eat whatever else I want. This one is super common. People think, oh, I had some blueberries today, so I can crush this triple cheeseburger and I'm good. Sorry, but no, it doesn't work like that. Adding good foods to your diet doesn't cancel out bad habits. You can't out-blueberry a fast food lifestyle. Longevity is about what you do most of the time, not one random salad after a week of fries and soda. Think big picture, not quick fix. Myth number 2. Superfoods erase bad habits. This is a cousin of the first myth. You've seen it before. Some health blog says this one fruit will fix your heart, or this drink melts fat overnight. That's just marketing. Real science doesn't work that way. No single food has magical powers. It's the pattern of what you eat over time that matters. In blue zones, it's not like people are living to 100 because they're eating one special food. It's because their entire diet is made up of these life-extending foods, day after day, year after year. Myth number 3, eating healthy is too expensive. This one always comes up. People think longevity foods, overpriced, organic only, farmers market shopping sprees. Nope. In fact, some of the cheapest foods in the world are also the healthiest. Beans, oats, rice, lentils, frozen veggies. These are dirt cheap and packed with nutrition. You don't need exotic powders or supplements. If anything, the superfood industry makes eating healthy look expensive, but the basics that really matter are actually very affordable. Myth 4. Carbs are the enemy. Low-carb diets are trendy, but the truth is, carbs aren't evil. The problem isn't carbs, it's refined carbs. White bread, sugary cereal, cookies, yeah, those will mess with you. But whole grains, oats, quinoa, brown rice, barley, these foods are proven to support heart health and longevity. The people in blue zones eat carbs every single day. The difference is, their carbs aren't ultra-processed. They're whole and natural. Myth number 5, healthy eating means giving up everything fun. Here's the one that scares people the most. They think eating for longevity means a lifetime of bland salads and no joy. That's just not true. Eating these foods doesn't mean you can't ever enjoy pizza, burgers, or dessert. It's not about perfection, it's about balance. Think of it like this. The more longevity foods you add, the less room you have for the stuff that drags you down. It's addition, not restriction. So, to recap, there's no magic food. You can't cancel out bad habits. Eating for longevity doesn't have to be expensive, carb-free, or joyless. The truth is much simpler. Eat more of the foods proven to help you live longer. Eat less of the stuff that pushes you toward disease, and do it consistently. Now that we've cleared the air, the big question becomes, how do you actually apply this to your life? What does it look like to eat for longevity without turning your world upside down? That's exactly what we're going to cover next. Okay, so now you know which foods help you live longer, and we've crushed the biggest myths. But here's the real question. How do you actually use this in your everyday life without it being complicated, boring, or expensive? Because let's be honest, knowing is one thing, but doing is what matters. So let's break it down step by step. Step 1, think. Swap, don't stop. Most people fail at healthy eating because they think it means giving things up. But the smarter way is swapping, not stopping. Love chips? Swap them for roasted chickpeas or nuts. Craving soda? Try sparkling water with a splash of lemon or fruit. Pasta night? Go with whole grain pasta or chickpea pasta instead of the refined stuff. You don't lose the foods you enjoy, you just swap in versions that actually help your body instead of hurt it. Step 2. Add, don't subtract. Here's the secret. You don't need to cut everything bad right away. Instead, just start adding the good stuff. Add a serving of beans to your lunch, add some berries to your breakfast, add a handful of nuts as a snack. When you add these foods, something cool happens. You naturally crowd out the junk without even trying. Step 3, aim for consistency, not perfection. Look, nobody eats perfectly, and you don't need to. The people who live the longest don't stress about one bad meal. They just eat the right foods most of the time. Think about the 80-20 rule. If 80% of your meals are packed with longevity foods, you've already changed your future. The other 20%, that's where your pizza, burgers, or desserts live. And that's fine. Step 4. Sample day of longevity eating. Let me paint a picture for you of what this actually looks like. Breakfast: a bowl of oatmeal topped with berries, nuts, and maybe a drizzle of honey. Lunch: a grain bowl with quinoa, beans, mixed veggies, and a little olive oil. Snack: a handful of almonds and some green tea. Dinner: grilled salmon with roasted broccoli and a side of brown rice. Dessert: a piece of dark chocolate or a bowl of fruit. Simple, affordable, delicious, and every single one of those meals contains foods proven to help you live longer. Step 5. What if you hate these foods? I can already hear it. But I don't like broccoli. Or beans make me gag. Totally fair. Not every food is for everyone. Here's the trick. Season it, blend it, or swap it. Don't like spinach? Throw it in a smoothie, you won't even taste it. Hate beans? Try lentil soup or hummus instead. Can't stand plain water? Add cucumber, mint, or lemon slices. Longevity: eating isn't about forcing yourself to choke down foods you hate. It's about finding what works for you inside the categories that science supports. So here's the takeaway. Longevity eating doesn't have to be complicated, restrictive, or expensive. You don't need a brand new diet. You don't need to give up everything you love. You just need to add more of the right foods, swap out the worst offenders, and keep it consistent. If you do that, you won't just add years to your life, you'll add better years. More energy, more clarity, more time doing the things you love with the people you love. And that's the whole point, isn't it? Not just living longer, but living better. Now, before we wrap up, there's one last piece of the puzzle. Because food is powerful, yes, but it's not the only thing that determines how long and how well you live. So let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Now, before we finish, let's take a step back. Because yes, food is powerful. What you put on your plate every day can add years to your life. But here's the truth. It's not the only piece of the puzzle. If you want to live longer and actually enjoy those extra years, there are a few other things that matter just as much. Movement. The longest living people in the world aren't running marathons or spending hours in the gym. They just move a lot. They walk, they garden, they carry things. They don't sit all day. Your body was built to move, and when you don't, it starts to break down faster. The good news? You don't need to crush workouts. Even a daily 20-minute walk has massive benefits for your heart, your brain, and your lifespan. Stress. Here's a hard truth. Stress ages you. Constant worry, pressure, and rushing through life, it literally wears your body down. The people who live the longest have ways to deal with stress. Some pray, some meditate, some spend time with family, others simply slow down and enjoy the moment. Whatever works for you, find a way to let stress out instead of letting it eat you alive. Sleep. Most people treat sleep like it's optional. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Well, that's one way to get there faster. Sleep is when your body repairs itself. It's when your brain cleans up waste, your cells recover, and your hormones balance. Skip sleep, and you're basically cutting into your lifespan one night at a time. Aim for 7 to 8 hours most nights. That's your body's reset button. 5. Community. This one might surprise you. One of the strongest predictors of a long life isn't diet or exercise, it's connection. Having friends, family, a sense of belonging. Loneliness is deadly. In fact, it increases your risk of early death as much as smoking or obesity. The people in blue zones, they have tight communities. They eat together. They laugh together. They support each other. That's not just nice, it's life extending. So here's the bigger picture. Longevity is a lifestyle. Food is the foundation, but it works best when you pair it with movement, low stress, good sleep, and strong relationships. Put those together and you're stacking the deck in your favor. But before we wrap up, let's make this simple. Let's pull it all together so you walk away with a clear game plan you can actually use starting today. So let's wrap this up. Here's what we've learned today. Your genes don't control most of your lifespan. You do. The foods you eat every day can either speed up aging or slow it down. The most powerful longevity foods are simple, affordable, and probably sitting in your grocery store right now. Beans, berries, nuts, olive oil, whole grains, veggies, fish, herbs, and yes, even coffee. It's not about one magic food, it's about patterns. Adding more of the right foods, swapping out the worst ones, and staying consistent. And it's not just about food. Movement, sleep, stress, and community matter just as much. Now here's the challenge. Don't just watch this video and move on. Pick one thing you heard today and start doing it this week. Maybe it's swapping soda for sparkling water. Maybe it's adding beans to your dinner. Maybe it's going for a 20-minute walk after lunch. Small changes done consistently create big results. And here's your reward for sticking with me until the end. You now have the same blueprint the longest living people in the world follow, without the confusion, the hype, or the $60 superfood powders. This is real, this is proven, and it's something you can start today, because at the end of the day, longevity isn't about just adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years, more energy, more time, more memories. That's the real gift. So, if you're ready to start building a longer, better life, hit that like button, share this video with someone you care about, and let's spread the truth about food and longevity. Your future self will thank you.